They promised innovation. What we got was deception.
What if I told you that one of the brightest stars in the AI universe, a company valued at $1.5 billion, a company backed by giants like Microsoft, was built on a spectacular lie? This is the story of Builder.ai. They sold a dream. Creating a mobile app would be as easy as ordering a pizza. Their secret weapon, a revolutionary AI named Natasha that could code your wildest ideas into reality almost instantly. Investors poured in over $450 million. The world hailed it as the future of software. But behind the curtain, Natasha had a secret, a very human secret. This isn't just a story of a failed startup. This is a story of a 9-year deception that fooled the world's smartest investors and left a trail of financial ruin. This is the story of the great AI deception. Before we unravel how this happened, welcome to Money Chronicles. We are the channel that digs deeper into the financial stories that shape our world. If you're fascinated by the truth behind the money, you're in the right place. Now, let's get back to the story. Our story begins in 2016. The founder, Sachin Dev Duggal, had a vision that was pure genius. In a world where building an app was complex and expensive, Builder.ai offered a simple, seductive promise. As easy as ordering a pizza. That was the tagline, and it was brilliant. The idea was that anyone, even with zero technical skill, could use their platform to build a custom app. The engine behind this magic was Natasha, their proprietary AI. Natasha, they claimed, could automate up to 80% of the development process. It would understand your needs, select pre-built features, and stitch them together seamlessly. It was the holy grail of software development, and the world bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. And why wouldn't they? With backers like Microsoft and the Qatar Investment Authority, it seemed like a sure bet. The AI boom was in full swing, and Builder.ai was riding the crest of the wave, reaching a staggering $1.5 billion valuation. But even as the hype train was thundering down the tracks, some people were trying to pull the emergency brake. As early as 2019, the Wall Street Journal published a report questioning just how artificial the intelligence at Builder.ai really was. They suggested the company relied more on human engineers than its marketing let on. That same year, a former executive named Robert Holdheim filed a $5 million lawsuit. He was fired, he claimed, after he warned that the company's AI was nothing more than smoke and mirrors. Court filings were even more damning. They revealed the company was telling investors that apps were 80% built by an AI they had barely even begun to develop. These were not small red flags. These were giant, flashing warning signs. But in the gold rush of AI investment, they were ignored. The money kept flowing, the valuation kept climbing, and the lie grew bigger every single day. So, if Natasha the AI wasn't building these apps, who was? The answer is the most shocking part of this entire story. It wasn't artificial intelligence. It was actual Indians. That's right, the revolutionary AI was a fabrication. The real work was being done by approximately 700 human engineers in India. The phrase inside the company was all engineer, no AI. Some even joked that instead of AI, the company had a guy instead. The entire sophisticated platform was just a fancy It was a digital curtain designed to hide the manual labor. Customer requests were routed to teams in India, who would then write the code, design the apps, and fix the bugs, all by hand. The billion-dollar AI was a myth, sustained by a global workforce, who were part of the deception. But the deception wasn't just technological, it was deeply financial. To keep the illusion of massive growth alive, Builder.ai allegedly engaged in a scheme called round-tripping with another company, Verse Innovation. Here's how it worked. Builder.ai would bill Verse for services, and Verse would bill Builder.ai for a similar amount. According to a Bloomberg investigation, in many cases, no actual services were ever provided. It was just paper transactions, fictional accounting entries designed to do one thing: artificially inflate the revenue of both companies. And inflate it they did. An independent audit, commissioned in 2025, discovered the horrifying truth. The company had claimed $220 million in sales for 2024. The real number, closer to $50 million. They had inflated their revenue by over 300%. This was the fuel that in the fraudulent engine running, deceiving investors and creditors alike. And in May of 2025, The house of cards came crashing down. The audit results were a bombshell. The company's biggest creditor, Viola Credit, which had given them a $50 million loan, acted immediately. They seized $37 million from Builder.ai's accounts. This single act paralyzed the company. They couldn't make payroll. They couldn't pay their bills. The game was over. The lie had become too big to sustain. Builder.ai, the $1.5 billion unicorn, the future of software, filed for bankruptcy. In their final statement, they blamed historic challenges and past decisions, a carefully worded admission that their past was finally catching up to them. But this wasn't just about a company's balance sheet. The collapse had a devastating human cost. Approximately 1,000 employees across the globe lost their jobs overnight. No warning, no severance. Their careers, built on what they thought was a revolutionary company, vanished. And then there were the client. Thousands of businesses had trusted Builder.ai with their dreams. One client lost $65,000 on an edtech platform that became completely inaccessible when the company went dark. Their code, their investment, their business, gone. The promise of making app development easy had turned into a nightmare. The ripple effects were massive. Amazon was left with $85 million in unpaid cloud bills. Microsoft, an investor, was owed another $30 million. The scale of the fraud was staggering. The scandal immediately caught the attention of U.S. federal prosecutors. The Southern District of New York, famous for taking down Wall Street criminals, began a full-scale investigation into securities fraud. The fallout is just beginning. The Builder.ai scandal has become the ultimate case study in a dangerous phenomenon known as AI washing. It's the practice of rebranding normal services as AI-powered to cash in on the hype. It's a lie that preys on our excitement for the future. The fall of Builder.ai is more than just a business story. It's a critical lesson for our time. It proves that even the most prestigious investors can be fooled. It teaches us that we have to look behind the slick marketing and ask the hard questions. How does it really work? It's a stark reminder that true innovation doesn't need to hide behind a curtain of deception. The biggest frauds often begin with the most seductive promises. So the next time you hear about a revolutionary AI that's going to change the world, trust, but verify. Because, as we learned from the $1.5 billion lie, sometimes the most sophisticated AI is just a guy in an office halfway across the world. If you believe stories like this need to be told, help us tell them by liking this video and subscribing to Money Chronicles. We're dedicated to uncovering the truth behind the money. Thanks for watching.